according to Verizon, at 7 o'clock. You guys all set? Okay. We'll call the meeting to order for Monday, September 9th, Williamstown Select Board meeting. First item on the agenda is to set the agenda. There's no other changes. Anybody else have anything for the agenda that's going on here? So I need a motion to approve the agenda as written. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? There's a laminated sheet up back by the sign-in sheet. Tells how the meetings are run, if anybody's interested in looking at it. Is there any select board announcements? How did the party go this weekend? You were there? Did that go good?
Oh, the fundraiser we did Saturday?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yep.
700, over 700 people.
Well, different alphabet, but yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good. So you have okay, any other select board announcements? Any public announcements? Jill, if you have something?
Not till we got down to trustee stuff.
No, about the party.
Oh, no, nothing about the party. It was just great. It was good to see everybody. Everyone looked like they were having fun. It was a good time.
But you were a different party than her party.
How's that both?
Barely.
Yeah, he was there.
I wouldn't say party, there were two fundraisers. More of a private aspect, but I believe, Larry, you're discussing the D's cancer run that we put on every year.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
over the period of time, we were able to collect in the donations into this individual $21,000.
Nice.
Wow. Excellent.
$21,706 to be exact.
Oh, great.
Yep.
No.
Any other public announcements?
Oh, I guess I applied for a grant for elections. We could apply up to $5,000. I only asked for $1,000. As Susan and I feel it's time to get a dolly to move all of our supplies, instead of using our backbones to lift boxes. This way we'll have a dolly to haul everything in and out. And it's supposed to be able to collapse so I can fit my car. So
For elections.
that's it. So I just got the check today, actually. So that's
Anybody else? Okay, is there anything on the Berrytown EMS? Anything on the fast squad? Commissioners, committees, trustee, and other board announcements?
That's, okay, that's us. Okay. Last Wednesday, I went to the town hall to set up an appointment with Jen and Jackie. Jen was in her office, Jackie was there, and then she went out front. As I came out to the front, I was blasted with Jackie yelling at me, and I wasn't sure what was going on because I was just there to set up a meeting. And she said she was sick of the library and the way we do things. She just lambasted us, and in the MOU things, number 19 was all interactions between the library trustees and employees and town officials and the employees will be conducted in a professional and respectful manner. This definitely was not. And I listened to what she said, then I asked to sit down because I had broken a couple of bones in my legs and my ankle and all that stuff. And I was in a boot. And I sat down and she continued. The town manager should have spoken to me in a way that she did, and she did it in the front office where anyone could hear what was discussed. It went on for half an hour. She was talking badly about the library and the people that worked there. She accused me of saying that she was a liar, which I've never done. And she wasn't, and that she wasn't going to put up with people coming at her verbally. She was going to come right back at them. Jackie said she made the decision, not on her own, with the library, should be outside the town budget. She said it was because the town has to pay the overage that the library has each year. But actually, the library pays the overage when they receive a bill for it. Sometimes we don't get a bill for a couple months. We have always paid bills when we receive them. Our meetings are the second Friday of the month, and we can look at bills then. When submitting bills to the library, they need to be submitted Thursday morning before the meeting on Friday occurs, or before that, because we prepare our warrants. Thursday by noon for the Friday meeting. Bills should not be brought up at select board meetings before the library has been even received them. Which I guess at the last meeting, something was said that we owed $1,700 and something. We'd never received the bill. So how can we owe it? We want to know, especially where overages occur from the town when we're given bills. Like if we receive an overage of $5,000, we want to know where that overage was. Some of the figures Jackie gets, and they're not positive figures. But this year, we were way under of what we were told. And so then we had to we'll have to make up the money. And in other words, I want to say Duke's position from last select board meeting, he was not speaking for me and had his own questions that did not come from the library board or anything to do with it. He asked his own questions. If there are questions, concerns about what the library director or clerks do, you can find their job description on the library website under About Us. The website address is Ainsworth Public Library. And I would like a written apology from the town manager regarding her behavior on Wednesday, September 4th, and I do not want a repeat of a manner in which I was treated.
Ellen is 82 years old, and for your town manager to verbally abuse her, that's not right. That should never happen in any kind of business. And she was verbally abused. She was so shaken up she could barely drive home. That's not okay.
Helen, what happened that led up to that? I obviously wasn't there. I'm guessing that you didn't go in and say, "Good morning, Jackie, how are you?" And then she just bit your head out. What happened that led up to that?
Nothing. I went in to ask for a meeting with Jen. I went in to ask for a meeting. There's been bad blood between the town and the library for years. I want it stopped. I'll do whatever it takes to work with you, and hopefully you will work with us, because we have an awful time. You know, we are asked to have the payroll a certain day, the bills in a certain day, and we do that. But we wait, and sometimes Friday at our meeting, we can't get the financial records. And that's not at all good accounting. And I mean, I may seem bitter about it because it's been going on forever. Not just the town, not in the library, but it's just both ways, the two of us. We've got to figure out something to straighten it out so we can be decent to each other, and when we ask a question, to get an answer. I don't think anybody here would pay a bill if you didn't know what was behind it. And as far as getting the bill for the overage that we went, we don't know where we went over. You know, and the numbers are different because they can't. Is it you have to wait for the auditor, Jackie?
No, we don't have to wait for the auditor.
Well, we wait to get the bill.
Okay, as you know, you called me Friday, last Friday. Helen?
Called him last Friday.
You called me last Friday, and you had somebody coming, so you couldn't talk right
Yeah,
then, but you said enough for me to realize it. something happened at town hall that you were upset about.
Yeah, I understand
So
that.
I went in to talk to the town manager, and the treasurer was there as well. And you're right, there is frustration on your part. There's definitely frustration on the treasurer and the manager's side of things. I mean, I was at a meeting a while
She
back.
can't hear you, Larry, can you speak
I
a
said,
little louder?
I was at a meeting a while back where bills hadn't got paid. Come to find out, it's whoever's on your committee that handles that had it riding around on the seat of the car or over the visor or something for a couple weeks, and things weren't getting paid. I mean, there's stuff like that's been going on, and there was another thing mentioned about you want to get in the fuel buyers group. You told them to go ahead and set them up with it. The manager did it. The next thing you know, somebody's in there chewing her ass for
And I
doing
told
it.
you what the reason was there.
I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah.
You told me about Conti thing, but nothing was said to that. You just said, yes, set us up with it. So she did. So it's all kinds of stuff going on both sides.
What's wrong with
And
that, though?
and I told him, let me finish talking.
Okay, yeah.
I totally agree that you guys need to get together and get this straightened out. I mean,
Yes.
the other alternative is, I mean, the manager isn't the one that takes care of paying the bills or getting your numbers together. It's the treasurer that does that.
Yes, I know
And she
that. I
told
go
me-
to the treasurer.
She told me she spends more time messing around with that library thing she does half the town stuff, because it's always something jumbled up with it.
Jen's telling him that
So-
she spends most of her time dealing with us.
No, she said today most of the time. She says more time she should for what little bit she has to do.
I don't know what she's doing, I mean,
So anyway, I agree. Somebody needs to sit down and get this figured out, so town doesn't need the headache, you don't need the headache, or else the town should just take this whole deal, and you get your own treasurer, and you get your own thing, and just do your own thing. You want to do most of it anyway. I mean, the very first meeting when I got back on the board, there's a lawyer sitting here from the library, because
had to
things
do that.
are going upside down. And I was off the board for about 5 years, and
Yeah.
before I got off, things were upside down back then, so, I mean, I don't know what the deal is.
the board that's there now is still paying for things that happened before I ever came on board. There was really a bad situation, and I feel like we're still being held accountable for a board that's no longer there.
Well, I'm not gonna speak for the rest of the board.
No.
My suggestion is, you guys get together and have a meeting and see if you can work things out, at least agree to disagree, or whatever you gotta do. And if
That's what
that,
the MOU is for.
and if that can't happen, I think the select board or town or whatever should get together and just, you guys do everything. You get your own treasurer, you do your own things, you got your own separate checking accounts and savings accounts, and just, you leave the town out of it. I mean, it's just getting to be such a hassle. Has been ongoing for years and years and years. Why, I do not know. But
I guess my concern is, the building is owned by the town. So it's your building to take care of. And we are taking care of everything there. And now to ask us to become our own treasurer and to take care of, Rodney, I know you're not fond of the library and I get that, but let me finish, please. It's just like, it shouldn't be this way. There shouldn't be this back and forth where people are angry at each other. We're both trying to help people in this town. And for people to come right out and say they don't like the library, what's wrong with people? Libraries are so important and a vital part of a small town like us. Someone said to me yesterday at the festival, oh, they don't have very many people that go there. Yeah, we do. We have a lot of people that come in and use the computers, the fax machines. They're looking up information. There's all kinds of stuff. Families use the library every single day. I don't know what else we can do to make it seem better to you guys.
Rodney,
So if you go back to when the town accepted the donation from Ainsworth to the public library, it was in that, it was to create a board of trustees to operate, oversee the operation of the library. And along with that came a maintenance fund to be overseen by the board of trustees. So for you guys to come in here and say it's the town responsible to take care of the building, I would disagree with you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what maintenance, like, where's that money come from?
That's your business.
Well, we've never had that. We always budget for maintenance.
Well, that's what you have to do.
Right. But when you don't own a building, should we be paying for new furnace and lawn mowing and snow removal and repairs to chimneys and roofs? I just don't know where that goes. Where does that happen? It's like a rental to us.
You were put into a board of trustees
Right,
to oversee the operation of the library.
right.
Okay? That's your job.
Mm-hmm.
And mowing the lawn, taking care of the buildings, all part of that. And you have to budget for it.
Which we do.
Okay, so why do you keep coming to the town when you have a problem?
I guess because you own the building. I don't know what else to tell you, Rodney.
You're supposed to be making sure the building's maintained.
We do, trust me.
Well, this maintenance fund, was this something that 100 years ago, that's way back in the town records,
It
or?
must be, because I've never heard of it.
Okay, so I guess you would have to go look at the town.
When the library was taken over, but it was Laura Ainsworth donated the library to the town of Williamstown.
Mhm.
It was all laid out, that there would be a board of trustees to operate and oversee that. And there was also a maintenance fund set up for the maintenance of the property and building.
So was it a part of the town at that point or not a part of the town at that point? Because
It's
I don't-
never all structure of the town, but so ain't the school. And the select board doesn't take care of maintaining the school. It's the school board. And it's the trustees of the library that take care of the library. It's not, it's that
That
simple.
makes perfect sense to me.
It's up to you guys to budget for it, make sure it gets done.
and we do that. But,
So what's it about?
well, tonight's problem is the way Jackie treated Helen Duke. If you really want to go there, that's what it is. There's nobody in this town that should be accosted like that. It's verbal abuse for an 82-year-old woman.
Okay, Jackie's got the point.
When the ambulance had their own building on this location where we're sitting right now, and the fire department was on Depot Street, they both had their own separate maintenance line items in their budgets. The town garage has their own separate maintenance line in their budget to maintain that building. When this building was built and the ambulance building was torn down and the Depot Street Fire Station was sold, then this building became a separate maintenance section in the general budget. The town garage still has their own separate budget, and the library still has their own separate budget. In the past, if you guys have needed a roof or a chimney, there's been an additional article put on the warning for additional funds for that. That's the way it's been set up long before I started here. It's been years and years and years. I've been here 13 years and that's the way it's been. Going back to when I would like to comment on when I was called the liar, because I believe Rodney might have been on the board when we sat here in this very room and I gave my town manager's report and I told you all what the cost for propane, oil, and diesel fuel was going to cost through our group merger with Northfield, Washington, Orange, and Williamstown School, and also their town garages on what we were going to be getting for fuel costs. There were 3 library trustees sitting in this room at the time, and the librarian, and you all chimed in. It wasn't you. It was you were on the board. You were the
I've
only
never
one.
been here when Sarah's been here.
You were sitting in here with 2 other board members, and Sarah was here. This was several years ago, at least 4 years ago.
At least. 'cause I've never been here.
I told what the costs were, and you all piped up and said, can we get that? And I said, yes, I have to set up account. And you said, go ahead and do it. I had 5 select board members sitting here, Barb was here, and so I did it. 2 months later, you came into my office and started screaming and yelling at me because I unauthorized set up an account. And I said, fine. You stuck with your Blue Flame, I canceled Gillespie's, and we were done with that. It was through Blue Flame Gas.
I don't know, you're wrong, because
No, I'm
I've never
not
been there
wrong.
with Blue Flame.
Rodney and Barbara were sitting here.
I don't care who is here.
So you did not want it, I canceled it, you told me I had no authority to do it, even though you
No, I
sat
didn't.
here and told me to do it. So
I don't
when
know.
Dusty came into my office, came to the office back here a while ago and asked for me to open an account and put you on to the towns and get the cost that we get, I asked him to put it in writing because I was not gonna go through that again.
Well, Blue Flame has nothing to do with us because we don't have anything that's gas. We were with Conti's and we had a huge surplus the year that we wanted to get on board with you guys. That surplus has been used now, so we've asked to be put on the town's group.
But you were asked to pre-put on that night at a select board meeting. Rodney remembers it.
I remember it, I was on the
Clayton
board.
remembers it.
Remember it anyways.
I
I,
was chair.
I wasn't on the board, but we have 2 board members that remember,
I was.
Clayton and Rodney.
I was
you
sitting right
remember
here.
that, Woody?
Yes, I do. I was on the board then, this is my 4th year.
And my 4th or 5th year at the library.
So
I don't remember that conversation with you.
I thought you were here.
I want to come in and see the notes of the select board meeting when
Okay,
that happened.
Ellen, we have 2 board members that are on the board when this happened. We can argue about it back and forth all night long, but that ain't gonna happen, okay?
He doesn't want you to argue back and forth all night.
I mean,
I don't intend
we have 2 select board members here that witnessed it, what Jackie just said. So I ain't saying who's right and who's
Who's the
wrong,
second board member?
Rodney and Clayton.
He's not a board member now, so.
He was back at the
Former-
time.
I know this, I was gonna say the
Okay.
former chair
Well, whatever.
remembers that conversation. And
Okay.
Woody tends to remember, and I guess Jackie does.
Anyway, I was not here,
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I was, but
and I know that, but I know
saying that was.
previously when I was on the board before,
I have no idea.
there was ruckuses going on with the library back then. And the very first meeting, like I said, beginning of this meeting, I got on and here, and the library's trustees are in here with their lawyer. And I just wondered, well, guess
Well,
not much has
Before you
changed.
came back on the board, we needed a lawyer.
So, anyway, this is my suggestion. If you want to give this a try, work out some kind of arrangement where you get together, have a meeting. If you want select board members present or something, a couple can show up or whatever to see if we can resolve this thing. If we can't, this is just me, I'd be more in favor of just, okay, you get your own treasurer, because I know the treasurer's fed up with it too. She told me so on Friday. So,
She's never once mentioned anything to us about
I
being.
know exactly what she said. You were there with me, right?
Mhm.
And this is what I asked directly. I said, so how's it going? She said, I spend way too much time for what little budget we're, the accounting she has to do for it.
Okay, so here's my,
So we need to figure out to get stuff, the treasurer cannot pay the bills until the stuff is brought before warrants.
right? We do warrants every meeting that we have. Helen delivers them. I don't know
Well,
what.
apparently it ain't going real smooth. So,
So
anyway, it needs,
here's-
I think your idea of a meeting's a good idea. Get it figured out. If you can't figure it out, then just go on your own. I think the town's, as far as the select board's had enough of it.
There's one thing I want to be assured if we go on our own, that the numbers we turn in, the extra articles that we turn in, will be put in the town report, and that has not always happened.
Okay, and what do you, the other board members think of, you got some better idea, or?
No.
No, that sounds reasonable to me.
We'll have to have a discussion at our meeting, but
So you guys
I just
think?
don't understand why this is such a situation. I mean, it just,
Yeah, I don't either. I totally agree with you.
it shouldn't be this way.
No, I agree with that.
Ellen,
Yeah, if we went on our own with our own secretary and everything,
you're on your own,
Right.
absolutely, 100%.
I didn't hear you.
You'll be on your own 100%. You will have no
Yeah, but what I
treasurer.
want to know is would the employee still be under your Blue Cross?
I told you, you could be on your own.
But we can't afford that.
I mean, Sarah has to pay what?
I don't know.
I forgot it was
She
a
doesn't
lot of
pay
money
anything.
that went
She
out.
doesn't pay a dime. You pay her health insurance 100%, single plan, dental and health insurance.
Don't we?
Yes.
Do we have to go through you for her to get that?
No, you guys can, you can set it up through Blue Cross Blue Shield separately.
So our employees would not have to be, I guess the thing that we need to do is make sure that the insurance doesn't get worse for our employee.
Well, you
Well-
have the option to go with silver or bronze. You would be able to make that decision yourself. This select board's decided to go with the platinum plan for their employees for a single, but you have the option, if you were on your own, to change it to where she would have a higher deductible.
Well, she
And it would be
has a
less
large
money.
one now.
She doesn't have a deductible now. You pay the deductible.
Well,
She gets 100%.
But it doesn't come out of her check.
No. You pay her deductible. This is the problem. This is why I get so frustrated, because you guys don't even know what you're budgeting for.
Yeah,
That's
we're
the
not business
problem.
people. I have no idea.
You guys sit there and write your budget. You sit there line by line, Alice,
Relax,
Jill.
relax.
Well, I'm just telling you, you sit there and you create your budget.
Right.
But then you're sitting here and you don't even know that your librarian doesn't pay her
Well,
deductible?
we get the figures from you, and then we create the budget around that.
Right, but she does not pay anything for her
I've never
dental
seen
and her
her
health
paycheck.
insurance.
I don't know what, I've never seen a paycheck for anybody that works there. So I didn't know that, and I'll be the first one to admit.
You
that's
don't,
not
you don't
something
see
I
her
know.
timesheet? You don't see the,
I did last when I was the board chair, but, you know,
because, I mean, she doesn't even fill out her timesheet. It says 40 hours on the bottom. You don't know how many hours she works a day.
it's a situation we've talked about with her.
But the clerks fill theirs out.
I know. We're working on it. That's all I can tell you right now.
That's where the frustration is. She's still an employee of the town, even though she's overseen by the library trustee. She's supposed to be following the town personnel policy. She doesn't follow the town personnel policy because she gets paid for, her holidays are completely different than ours. If you go by what you have on your website, she gets Battle of Bennington Day, she gets Martin Luther King, she gets President's Day, she gets Columbus Day. The town employees don't get that.
Then you need to talk to your select board,
No.
because the trustees agreed to pay certain holidays for her. That's a trustee board who did that.
I'm not arguing that we should get it, I'm just saying that if she's an employee of the town, even though you oversee her, she's still not following the town personnel policy.
That's the first I've heard of that, Jackie, so.
This is where my frustration's
Yeah,
coming from.
I understand
Joe.
that. I understand
The
that.
auditors made Barb and I fill out a timesheet, we're salaried,
But
we have to fill it out and put down how many
We don't even
hours.
take our information for auditing.
What do you mean we don't take your
Jen
information
doesn't
for
take the
audit?
library's information for auditing. She told us we didn't need to give her the information. We're not audited.
That has nothing to do with it. The payroll timesheet.
No, I know, but I'm
goes
saying, you're
into
talking-
Jen.
Okay.
This
Let's
is what
move
I,
on. I just feel
Yeah.
that what happened on Wednesday should never, ever, ever happen to anybody in this town. That's not cool.
So where do you want to leave it? You want to go on your own, or you want to try to work this out?
We can't tell you that
Tomorrow.
tonight. We've
Okay.
got to.
So we'll just table it and come back next meeting if you want.
No.
I guess it wasn't on
We have to have
the,
some
it wasn't
time.
on the agenda anyway, it was just an
We've got to have
announcement.
some time to look into things. I mean, it's not like a decision that you can make, yes, we're gonna do it. It's gotta,
I mean,
you know,
go
take
ahead,
some time.
take what time you want, and you want to have a meeting, if you want a couple of board members present, we'll arrange that. See if we can iron stuff out, if we can't, we can agree to disagree, and you can do your thing, the town do its thing, and go from there. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yep, thank
Doesn't
you.
sound like it's anywhere near getting better until
Yeah.
things get
It's
figured
never
out.
ending battle. It's so stupid.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you for coming
You
in.
didn't get your apology.
Yeah, that's,
No.
the only thing I'm gonna say, and I don't know the town personnel policy like the back of my hand, but regarding, their trustees, but if Dave Wilder does something wrong, as an example, as a town employee, I have a feeling he's not allowed to get yelled at in a public space. Regarding, if he went into Jackie's office and started screaming at her, we need to maintain a professional environment. And I wasn't obviously there.
Right.
I saw Helen Duke at the town office, I don't know if that was that day. There was nothing at that
That was
point.
Wednesday.
But if that is the case, I would request the town manager apologize to Helen for, and if she's requesting in writing, especially because it was in the purview of the public. Anyone can walk through those two front doors, it's a public building. It wasn't down at Pump and Pantry, where they were both not working. The town manager is in her office, or her office environment, yelling at essentially a citizen. And citizens shouldn't have to deal with that.
Were you there, Tyler?
I was not, I'm just saying,
Okay.
Barb, can I ask, was Barb there?
Yeah.
Was there
And I don't think
loud
it's-
voices?
I don't know on the spot either.
I'm not asking what was said. Was the tone unprofessional?
I think you should be asking that man.
I don't think it's fair to put
Yeah.
Barb on the
Yeah,
spot when she had
Barb is
nothing,
the
she had nothing to do with it.
Okay, all right.
But she was a witness.
It doesn't matter. You spoke, you weren't even there, Jill.
I know, but
Okay,
I'm
so
here.
this is
So there you go.
between, this is Helen.
Yeah,
okay?
I
It
wasn't
had everything to do with
involved.
Barb.
It happened in my office. It wasn't, I
Tyler
had
wasn't
nothing to
there.
do with it.
That's
You know what?
exactly what though, I
There's
wasn't
been-
there. We have a judiciary responsibility as selectmen. That's one of our responsibilities. I'm asking, as Barb is a witness, I'm not asking what was said, I'm just asking if the tone was unprofessional.
I think just everything was, both sides were frustrated. Let's just leave it at that way. They both were frustrated.
That's not an answer though.
It's the answer she gave, so.
Well, same issue as
If you're
yours.
friendly on,
Well, I've witnessed things in that town hall, and I said, I've witnessed things happen in that town hall before. And I know how some people treat the manager, the clerk, anybody, treasurer. I mean, I've seen people just, at the point where you think you probably ought to be calling the cops, because it gets so out of hand. So a lot of stuff goes down, and I ain't saying it's you, but I says,
We're aware of that, but I.
they don't, they get harassed plenty by different people, so. I ain't saying it happened, I ain't saying it didn't happen, I wasn't there, but I could see where people would get frustrated.
She was really loud.
I didn't say she was right, I didn't say she was wrong. I'm just saying,
Of course not.
you can see it in the room, there's frustration between the two parties. They're sick of dealing with it, you're sick of dealing with it. We need to either figure out how to make it work or go the separate ways. That's the only thing I can see. Public official now, you can only take so much, not pointing this towards you, but you or anybody else. And she knows she has to be polite to the public, but there's a certain point where enough's enough and people get overzealous or whatever other word you want to call it. So, that'd be between you and Helen and her. If Jackie wants to apologize to her, she feels she should, she can, as far as I'm concerned, or vice versa. If something was said that
I'm
shouldn't
not
have
gonna
been said.
apologize, I didn't do anything.
I don't think anybody
Sorry.
else is doing anything.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't go in there screaming and hollering or anything.
Yeah, all I want to reiterate, you're not the only person on the library trustee board now or previous. Probably set her off long before this, so I'm just saying. I'm from talking to her and the treasurer, stuff has gone on that they're just getting sick of it. Sounds like he is too. So, anyway, So we'll leave it at that. If you want to have a meeting, we'll work it out to have a select board or 2 members there if you want. Whatever works to make it work.
Okay, do you have a copy of the MOU that we have in place?
I don't have one with me. I don't.
No, I know, I just want to know if you had it. Because I'm not sure that all of the board members have a copy of the MOU.
We can have, Jackie can send us out one.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'd have to do some digging to find one.
And just like look it over, and that's what we're supposed to be working off. So, and Rodney, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that your idea to come up with a document?
Absolutely not.
It wasn't?
No.
That was something your
I
lawyer.
don't believe it. To be honest with you, I don't believe I signed it. Because I wasn't for it.
I thought you wanted us to come up with, I think it was your
Wasn't my
idea, I'm
idea.
sorry, I don't know.
I think it was your lawyer's idea, not mine.
Okay.
The other thing, if the library could, do we have their bylaws, how the trustees operate versus us?
You should have, if you don't, we can
Because
get you a copy.
you could, that, I would like a copy of that as well.
We can get that for you.
It's not up to date. It's on
Does
the
anyone else
website.
want a
It's not up to
copy of
date.
Okay. Jackie said it's on the website, but it's not up to date. If we could get the most
It's
up-to-date
not up to
copy.
date?
You've got, the library hours are 31 hours.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I don't go on it, so
All right, so if we could get whatever the most up-to-date bylaws.
we will do that.
Is it still where you can't do any more than 2 terms at a time?
Yeah, we haven't changed that.
So basically, you both, you're both, and by rights now, you've done 2 terms. If it still goes by, what was set in place with Mrs. LaSalle years ago, you can't do two terms then. If
You can
that's-
do only 2 terms. No.
Well, I was in the town hall and I questioned it and she told me I had to get signatures.
Well, because I didn't realize you wanted to run again, but I said, yes, you would have to run
Yes.
again. But now that you've done 2 terms, because you ran a 3 of a 5, and you got that, which brought you to 2020, which you ran the 5-year term, you did the 5 years, so that would bring you up to this year. But now that you've done two terms, I don't know if that's still in place, that
As
you,
far as I know, it is.
then I guess you don't have to
I
get a petition unless
think
you.
we're both done and, no, I got one for you.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Again, thank you.
okay. Thank you for coming in.
listening.
Hopefully things can get resolved. Okay, next is approval of the warrant SB 2115. Got a motion on that?
Make the motion, we approve warrant 22115.
Your second?
Second.
Motion made, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, next one is payroll warrant for 9/8/24. Motion on that?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second that.
Motion's made, seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Town manager report, Jackie?
We'll give it the minutes.
Oh, whoops, select board meeting
There's only
minutes.
3 of you there, so it can only be
Yep.
those 3.
Okay, so
It was a very
Chris Clayton,
close
Yeah.
so how do we?
I went through that, I went.
You make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the previous minutes as written.
Second that.
You second it?
Right.
No, Chris
Oh,
wasn't
you-
here,
who
so
was
you
it?
have to be Tyler have to.
I wasn't there either.
Yeah,
No,
There were
there
3 of
was
us there.
Clayton,
No, this was the,
Chris and Larry.
Chris was in Maine.
This is the
No,
tax,
this was the tax rate.
Oh, Jesus.
They approved that one.
Yeah, not the, what
It's
was
the
the
last
setting
one,
the tax rate.
26.
Okay, all right, yeah, I wasn't at that one,
Okay, yeah.
okay.
He was here.
Okay, motion made, second.
Yeah.
Okay, any discussion? in favor?
Aye.
Now, the town manager's report.
Okay, delinquent taxes as of today are $58,138.57. Delinquent water is $9,162.10. Delinquent sewers is $16,818.88. The generator has been installed at Mountain View Pump Station. The fuel delivery is supposed to be tomorrow, and then Brookfield Services can come back and test the generator, and that will complete the 3 generators under the ARPA money. Chelsea Road, Menard Cross Road, municipal roads, grants of $31,000 and $22,000 have been started with the ditching is completed, and the stone lining is being done this week, which will complete those projects. Falls Bridge Road, the $200,000 paving grant, I submitted that last week, and the money came in on Thursday, so we got the $200,000 for the grant, which covers 200 of the 403,000 for Falls Bridge Road.
Which is beautiful, by the way. Falls Bridge Road, nice.
High Street will be paved within the next couple of weeks. That was also ARPA funded. The road crew moved the equipment up onto Washington Road this week to fix the culvert in the corner of Washington and Sugar House Road. Under FEMA, the July 10th, 2023 event, all projects have been submitted and the town has been reimbursed $725,244 as of today. I have 2 more projects that are in their final submission approval. That's the South Hill Major Culvert and Martin and various roads. And then once those 2 have been signed off on, then all that's left is Cat Z, which we've got roughly, I think it's $40,000 in administrative costs that will be reimbursed for. And that would be for Dave and myself for administrative costs. The December 18th, 23 FEMA event, 6 sites were damaged, 5 sites have been repaired. Chelsea Road is the last one, which will be completed within the next month. I've signed off on 4 of the 6 sites, signed off on approval from FEMA, so that money should be rolling in for the December ones that have been completed. The July 10th, 24 flood event, the declaration for FEMA has been approved. We had 5 sites, of which 3 have been repaired. We received the hydraulic studies for Chelsea Road, Robar Road, and Henry Road last Thursday. Henry Road, I talked to Tim from FEMA, who will probably be our project manager for this July flood. He took over my last July and December when my other project manager left. They will review that site. He says there's a very good chance that it will go through, because they've set a precedence with Maplewood and Riddle Road in the past with FEMA paying for culvert upgrades on class 4 roads. The distance from Flint Road to the culvert is 120 feet on Henry Road. It was 80 feet from Stella to the Maplewood culvert, so it's just a matter of another 40 feet, so he really doesn't think that there'll be a problem considering that's blown out. I know of at least 4 times that it's blown out. Yeah, well, I think it actually did July last year, December, and July again, so 3 times in the last year, and then the July of 2013, it blew out. And I know there were a couple in between there that I don't have remedies for, but so once, it'll be in the next couple of weeks, they'll give us our project manager's name, but like I said, Tim's pretty sure that he's going to be ours. And then the site visits will be set up, and then we'll go from there, but it's looking pretty good for Henry Road. The EWP projects, Meadow Street dredging was completed. The reimbursement has been submitted. They're going to pay 100%. I should be getting that anytime. I got my confirmation email for that one yesterday, and I submitted the Industry Street dredging reimbursement last week. So there's $25,000 coming back for Meadow Street and a little over $63,000 for Industry Street. The fire department update, William and Marie met with Dave last Thursday to start talks about better radio communication with the fire department and Berrytown EMS on scene. They've all agreed to try it 3 months with Berrytown EMS switching to our dispatch, giving fire department members an update on scene of what we should expect when arriving. This is primarily for vehicle accidents. The fire chief will also start responding to the scene more frequently to also help with this issue. The 911, after reviewing with them, they will not make any changes to accommodate our issue that we've been having with the fire department not being toned out for accidents between Berry Dispatch and Lamoille Dispatch. They're working towards a way to have Lamoille trip our cell phones, which is the active E911 calling that hits all of the firemen's cell phones, and at least alert us of an accident in town. The downside is someone from the fire department would have to call Berry to tell the fire department, so they're still working on the process, hopefully making some closure solutions. Williamstown Fire Department has 3 members enrolled in the firefighter level 1 program this year. That's an update from William. You all have a copy of the hydraulic study for Henry Road. So we have 2 hydraulic studies for that area now. We have the one that was done in 2013 for above it, and then this one is the current one. Oh, I'm sorry.
So I had a question. So one of the primary functions of a fire department on scene is, of course, patrolling fluids, but also to secure the vehicle from somebody getting hurt. And if they don't get toned out, Berrytown goes up there, car, just as an example, car's on its side, they start working, it rolls over and gets on the ambulance. Who's held liable?
Berrytown is actually held liable. It's their liability. No. Hopefully, they've met and they've got a couple of little alternatives to get the issues resolved. Hopefully, things will move forward.
What was the reason that,
Seems like it's taken an awful long time.
for what, other than they're not different times of year that they started, is there any reason why they can't use the same, say, Lamoille and Berry City? I don't know which one's on which, but.
Berrytown uses Lamoille Dispatch, and Williamstown uses Berry City Dispatch. And the problem is when 911 gets the call, hey, I've had an accident, they go through a certain questionnaire that they ask that person. And if it doesn't fall under specific determination, they haven't been toning out the fire department. So they're taking the information, 911's taking the information that's coming into them via the call-in and going from there. We're trying to get it to the point where if it's an automobile accident, they'll automatically tone out Williamstown Fire Department, and then they can get on scene and then they can assess whether they need to be there for flagging or for hazardous materials or anything else that they would cover. So that's what they're working towards, and whether it's going to be us switching to Lamoille so we're all on the same, but there doesn't seem, Berlin is on a different dispatch than Berrytown. Washington's on a different dispatch than Berrytown, and Brookfield is on a different dispatch than Berrytown. So we're trying to figure out why, when the call goes into 911, they're not just automatically, if it's an accident, toning out Berry City to tone out Williamstown and Lamoille for Berrytown ambulance. But Dave, Marie, and William are all working together to try to resolve the issue. 911 will not accommodate So it's basically comes down to Berrytown and Williamstown and their dispatch working together to figure out a solution. Whether it's switching, Berrytown switching to Berry City and, because they have that in their frequency. So if there's an accident, they can tone out the Williamstown Fire Department.
I mean, I would think it would be something as easy as whoever the on-call crew is for the ambulance. They get told to go to an accident, they need to make sure the fire department's coming. If the fire department gets told to go to an accident and the ambulance is still sitting there, they need to call, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's really not.
So they had a meeting last Thursday and they've got a list of things that they're working towards resolving the issues.
It sounds simple, but it seems like it's been really getting dragged out here.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have anything else for the minute? Okay, under new business, errors of omission for the listers. I mean, I've read through this and I understand the first one and I understand I'm very familiar with the Jacobs one. And I just don't know how they come up with those numbers, but it's simple boundary line adjustment.
Yeah, so it's a,
Land values, $1,200 to $2,000 an acre. All I did was straighten out a parcel before I bought the Nipley property. It's about an acre and a half on Nipley's that, with the Jacobs and they did a land swap and the acreage was a little bit more on Nipley's side of it. But to get $14,900 for 2.2 acres out in the woods, no road or access to it. It doesn't even coincide with the current use values of land.
my comment, so.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, we
Just going by what?
gotta approve this thing, but I don't like proving something I know is completely out of whack, certainly. On that, I can't speak to the other two,
Well, the estate pulled out 17.7 acres out of current use, so that increases the grand list on that.
even that was 49,000 for 20 acres land, 14,900 for 2 acres land. Those numbers don't even jive with each other. So I don't know how I'm not gonna formula how they do it, but well, it'll be back, I'm pretty sure, when landowner sees it. So we need to approve this. So I guess we have to make a motion to approve or disapprove.
I'll make a motion
Approve it.
to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. I don't understand it, but that's great.
Any further discussion?
Well, if you're not okay with it, then why are you approving it? If it doesn't make
Hey,
any sense.
just put a motion on the floor to vote on it.
Oh, okay.
I know how I'm gonna vote.
I mean, Barbara came down and worked with Cordy and May on this,
I don't
so.
care who works there.
It wasn't me, it was another Barbara.
Barbara
I don't know anything about this.
Barbara Schweitzer.
Clarifying, right? Right.
I don't, I just put it on the agenda. It's not my department.
I mean, I wouldn't know difference if I weren't familiar with the property.
I mean, you can approve them individually and if you want, and then if you're questioning Jacobs, then don't approve that one.
They get the right
Makes
to
you feel more
appeal.
comfortable.
The people that were adjusted get the right to appeal to the town, correct?
They've been submitted their letters, yeah,
So then they have the right, I mean,
yeah.
it goes back in front of the listers, so they have their legal right to appeal it if they don't feel it's correct. We're just agreeing with our employees.
The grand list,
Right.
I'm sure they will appeal it, I would imagine.
Okay, any further discussion on it? All in favor? Opposed? Voting for something I know is wrong. but- Okay, we're to schedule a budget meeting. October.
Okay, so either, they're both Monday nights, so either the 21st or the 28th of October. I don't know what your schedule,
21st works better for me just because the fire department has a training on the 28th. I'm free both nights, but 21st.
I won't be here that week.
which week? The 21st or the
October.
28th?
Okay, I'll be here for the 21st one, but I won't be here for the 28th one.
I was gonna say close to
That works better for 21st anyways.
21st?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same time, I assume?
10 o'clock?
Is that over at the town hall?
Well, if they're not having a training in here, then yeah, we'll be able to have it here.
Yeah, there should, at least as the fire department's concerned, the third week is, I think that is the third week. Doesn't have
Yes,
trainings.
it's the third week. Okay, so we'll have it here.
Okay, next item is liquor license for the den. You have anything to say on that?
And they just barely got it in, they expired, their license expires I believe the 26th or 28th of this month. They just got it in, I have not received payment, but if you approve it, I'm gonna let them know it was approved, but I can't officially approve it till the town receives a check from the debt.
So we need to make a motion that we approve it based on getting the check for payment. Someone make motion?
I would make the motion that we approve the den's liquor license contingent upon receiving payment.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Old business? Round table?
Sorry, it doesn't really have to do with this, people might not like this, but if I don't say something, I'm not gonna say very good tonight. I spend a lot of time in this town, and please, everybody understand, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody upset. Please forgive me if I do. I spend a lot of time in this town with our children and the community, a lot of time. And in that time, over the past 8 years, I've tried extremely hard on teaching how to be kind, how to be respectful, how to have good sportsmanship. And over my time here, it's been very difficult for me to see the way that the leadership and the adults in this town have treated each other. We need to be the example that we want to see our kids to grow up to be. And I would really like to encourage everybody here. Again, I'm not trying to come down on anybody or point fingers at anybody. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I understand that, and it does get frustrating. I would just really like to encourage everybody to let's just do better. Let's set a better example for our community. Let's set a better example for our state on how to conduct business. Yelling, arguing, it's not good for business. It doesn't solve anything. I get we can get frustrated, but I just really would like to encourage us all to try and do better in the future. And I feel we have been doing better overall. But to Tyler's point, I think what he was trying to say was that regardless of the past, regardless of the frustration, which we all get frustrated, I don't think he was trying to disregard that. We have reasons for why we get upset, but we still have a personal responsibility to treat others with respect and kindness. And I just really would like to encourage everybody here to try and continue to set that example for our community. That's all I have.
Very well said.
Everyone can learn a lesson, use a lesson in that at times. Okay, round table, Tyler? Scott?
I'm all set.
Great.
Suggest we close it up.
What's that?
I suggest we close it up. Motion to adjourn.
Is there else a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?